Go.
All right, gamers, welcome back. I've got our functional nutrition therapist with us today. Andrea, she's going to be talking to you about the skinny on carbs and how it impacts your ability to create results in your business. We'll be back in 20 seconds to talk you through it, so stick around. Okay, welcome gamers to day 31 here inside of our first season together in the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. My name is Chris Olin-White. I am the game master. This is my wife, Andrea. Andrea is our community functional nutrition therapist. She actually runs a nutrition clinical practice here in Denver, Colorado with a who?
Naturopathic doctor.
Naturopathic doctor. So by now, you know that my role in the game is to disrupt your thinking. Why do I want to do that? Because I am passionate about empowering you to live outside your phone booth so that you can share your extraordinary with the world. Now, what the heck does the phone booth have to do with anything? Well, just ask yourself this question. What would have happened had Superman never gotten out of the phone booth? Andrea, what would have happened?
Nothing would have happened.
Exactly. Nothing would have happened, gamers. And that is why living outside your phone booth every single day is priority number one. So gamers, if you're ready, then I'm ready. Andrea, are you ready?
Ready.
Game on. All right, gamers. So again, welcome back. We are here inside of our 7-part series on how to optimize energy levels for entrepreneurs so that we can all go out into the world and we can hit home runs and we can live at extraordinary levels. I've got the expert with us here today, Andrea, and this is part 3. So Andrea, today we're going to be talking about the skinny on carbs for everybody. So what do you have for us?
Yeah, so this week we're continuing to lay the foundation of nutrition. So we're talking about the next macronutrient, carbohydrates. So last week it was protein, and this week it's carbohydrates. And as a reminder, the macronutrients are the building blocks from which optimal energy is created through nutrition.
Optimal.
So let's talk carbs. Starting with the basics, okay? So it's likely that you've heard of carbohydrates broken into 2 categories, right? So simple carbohydrates, complex carbohydrates.
Simple and complex.
Write that one down, please. Simple carbohydrates are sugars. So think fruit sugar, think milk sugar. And complex carbohydrates are your starches and fibers. So starches, think root vegetables, the tuber category. So that includes yams, potatoes, sweet potatoes, legumes like beans and peas. Fiber, so think whole grains, seeds, root vegetables again, citrus fruits, and the legume category as well. So we've got sugars, starches, and fibers. So generally speaking, carbohydrates in their whole, unadulterated, whole food state, they're good for us, right? So they're a source of energy. The body preferentially burns carbohydrates for energy. Talking about fiber specifically, certain types of fiber are prebiotics, so they feed the good bugs in our gut. And so Chris will tell you, I love to talk about gut health.
Microbiome.
Hey, that's my line. Microbiome is my word. I try and get microbiome into as many conversations as I can.
True.
Nurture your microbiome. So back to what we're talking about. So it's only when carbohydrates are refined into things like white sugar and flour and all of the food products that are manufactured from these things that they really become problematic. So whole food carbohydrates, natural sugars, starches, fibers are nutrient dense. So meaning that they're rich in vitamins, minerals, enzymes, but refined carbohydrates, on the other hand, are devoid of nutritional value. Okay, so they're not going to be beneficial, and they actually cause you to have to use stores of your own nutrients to metabolize them properly. So that's everything that we covered in week 1. We talked about the whole food and real food diet.
Okay, great. So that's what carbohydrates are. What about carbohydrates for energy? What do you have to say about that?
Okay, so when we talk about utilizing carbohydrates for energy, it's all about blood sugar management and insulin regulation. Okay, so blood sugar management, insulin regulation.
Got it.
So if you don't hear me say anything else, hear me say this. The key to sustained energy, and really the key to a lot of health benefits, is management of this very important mechanism in the body. So let me say it one more time. You might want to write this one down, sweetheart. The key to sustained energy and many other health benefits is blood sugar management and insulin regulation. So the reason for this is because when blood sugar and insulin are dysregulated, that's when you experience those energy crashes, right? So it sends you running for caffeine and more sugar.
Okay, awesome. So question I know I have, I'm sure a lot of our viewers do, is how do we avoid the issue of, as you're talking, blood sugar crashes that are, going to steal our energy? Because as entrepreneurs, energy is like priority number one for me during my day. I want to keep my energy up. So how do I, protect myself from those blood sugar crashes?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a couple things to consider. So first, going back to my original point of consuming carbohydrates in their natural, unadulterated state, right? Whole food state. So you're not going to experience a blood sugar crash from eating carrots and chia seeds, right? It's just not going to happen. But even for whole food carbohydrates that may carry a higher glycemic load, so meaning that they have a greater impact on your blood sugar, if you pair them with proteins and fats, they're actually digested slowly. Okay, so they enter the bloodstream slowly over a period of several hours, and that's what we want. Okay, we want that slow, steady, sustained supply of energy throughout your day. So let me just give you a couple examples here. Okay, so eating an apple, right? Good snack. Apples are a great snack. Better snack is an apple with almond butter. And the reason for that is because it's going to slow down that insulin response and that blood sugar reaction. Okay, so another example, sweet potato, right? Sweet potato is great, but better is sweet potato with some grilled chicken or with some salmon, because when you pair foods like this, you maintain that even level of energy all day.
Awesome. So let's talk quantity of carbohydrates. How many, carbs should we have, should we not have, so that we can maintain peak energy levels throughout the day?
Yeah, great question. So first and foremost, I want to emphasize quality over quantity. So we've already established that all carbohydrates are not created equal, right? So first, it's about choosing those high-quality carbohydrates that are going to give you the vitamins, minerals, enzymes that your body needs. And then second, I really like to honor the unique biochemistry of the individual, right? We're all biochemically unique. So there's no hard and fast rule here. It really does depend on your own situation. So I'll throw some more examples out there. So let's say you're an athlete, okay? Or maybe you're just a really active person. Maybe you're trying to gain a little weight, put on a little lean muscle mass. You're likely going to thrive on a high carbohydrate diet. And by that, I mean 30% of your total calories or maybe more. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're trying to lose weight, and you might have some blood sugar dysregulation issues, maybe some digestive issues, you're going to feel much better on a low-carb diet, so somewhere around 10 to 15% of your total calories. And then there's, of course, a middle ground as well. So people who are generally healthy, just want to maintain their current weight. That's a moderate carbohydrate diet, around 15 to 30% of your total caloric intake.
Awesome. So this is great tangible information that I know we can implement immediately. Coming off the show today, is there anything you want to say to the viewers as we wrap things up here?
Just experiment. Experiment with how much carbohydrates give you your best energy levels. This is where it's really helpful to write things down. Write down what you eat, write down how you feel immediately after, 1 hour later, 2 hours later. If your carbs are too high for your biochemistry, you're going to have cravings for sweets. So we need to reduce the carb intake. If your carbs are too low, you might feel sluggish. You might not be able to work out at the level that you want to be performing at. So then we need to increase the carbohydrates. So it's really just about testing and tweaking and finding what works best for your body.
Awesome. And there you have it, gamers. That is the skinny on carbohydrates. Hey, listen, go ahead and put your questions below the video. Andrea will get to those questions. She'll get some answers back to you. Make sure to like the video. Share some love here to Andrea, her third time here on camera with us. We're excited to have her back here for part number 4 next week. So make sure to join us then. Share this video with someone who's going to get value from it. And on that note, gamers, hey, go out there today. Be extraordinary in your thinking when it comes to your health, because this stuff matters. I'm Chris White. This is my wife, Andrea White. And you got anything else you want to say before we close out?
Peace.
Peace out. See you tomorrow, gamers.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the extraordinary game of entrepreneurship and how to play it. And remember, gamers, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. So get out of your phone booth and go share your extraordinary with the world.